stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up, and throughout the world today.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. The biblical question for this week. The biblical question. What are you committed to? What are you committed to? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show. jesseleepeterson.com/show. You can listen to the show if you're out and about, anywhere in the world, stuck in airports, riding on a subway in Los Angeles or New York and about to get attacked, swimming across the border, and the Border Patrol is just looking at you because they've been restricted from doing anything about it. Living in a hotel as an illegal alien, 4 to 5 star hotel, and not having to pay, and living high off the hog, or land up at the beach, or just being a plain old homeless person. You can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793. This number's wrong, or is this a new number? Is it a new number? I'm not sure if this is the right listen line number. 1050? So it's not the right number. Okay, so it's not the right number. I'm black and slow, but I'm not that black and slow. You take the joke too far. What the? So the number is 641-793-1505. 641-793-1505. They were just, 641. What the? 793. Can you change this on my thing here? Okay. 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. Sorry about the mess up, folks.
What the?
It's Wednesday morning. And don't forget to follow us on JLP Talk on Twitter and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. All right? Manhood hour is coming up in the third hour today. Manhood Hour coming up in the third hours. I was talking to a couple of ladies yesterday, and it was an amazing conversation. And I noticed that this is happening with everyone who truly want to wake up and have a real life instead of this fake life of worry, fear, doubt, jealousy, loneliness, emptiness, boredom, and whatever you're dealing with. And I noticed that some people give up and they accept the horrible life as a normal life. But then there are those who stick with it. They just hang in there anyway. And those are the few that would truly, truly find it. And I've noticed that a lot of people just give up on their lives and they stay in the hell. And not only do they become homeless or dependent on government or something, they live in the hell of their imagination. They give up and just live in it and accept it. Even though they're miserable, they're still trying to pretend that it's working, knowing that it's not. But I was talking to these ladies, and they were talking about how now that they are growing into paying attention to thoughts, and they are truly starting to see that all thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. But they are starting now to realize, and it's just so true, it's a part of the growth, it's a part of the overcoming. They are starting now to see that the thoughts, being aware of them, are very challenging in that the last thing the thoughts want, the imagination want, is for you to be free of it. It does not want to let you go. And it every minute is trying to draw you back into the imagination and trying to cover up true life, non-thinking, but just being. And that is so true. And if you stay on that straight and narrow, and I encourage you to do that, you're going to see that every minute, the more aware you become, that every minute the imagination thoughts are trying to draw you back in, just draw you back in, because it doesn't, and they don't. Demons, the big demons and the little demons, do not want to depart from you. They live in human beings, and they do not want to depart from you. The kingdom of heaven is within, and the help comes from above. There's not one human being walking this planet on this side of heaven that can save you. Even Jesus Christ, when he walked the earth, he was quite clear that, at least to some people, that I can't save you. I can't save you, but I can point you toward the source within and above that can save you. It's a spiritual thing. And only God can save you from the darkness. As a matter of fact, he sent his son that you are already saved from the darkness. But because since childhood, you have identified with the darkness and you believe that you are the darkness and you call it light. Isn't that amazing? It's like mind-blowing to really start seeing this. And so I want ladies, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. And there are truly ladies out there of all races too. Black ones, white ones, Chinese, Asian, because I deal with them. They are truly working on themselves now as an individual. They just didn't know beforehand. They were taught the wrong way. They didn't know that they don't have to have a man to have love. They didn't know that the love was coming from it was just about a return to the Father. They just didn't know. They didn't know, as the men didn't know it, and many don't know still, that you must be born again of the Spirit of God. You're born of the spirit of the mother, which is of the devil, of the flesh, right? But then you must be born of the Spirit of God, of the Father. Ain't no way you're going to have peace until that happens. And the only way that's going to happen, you got to see for yourself that you are wrong and nobody else to blame. Yes, the parents are wrong for not being right and causing you to become mechanical as they are, but then you, as an adult, are responsible for overcoming it. Nobody else but you. You are your world. You are the world. So it's up to you. So those ladies, you know who you are. Stay with it, and just notice, if you have to notice it 120,000 times a minute or a day, just notice how those thoughts, they don't want to let go. They don't want to let go. And even when others give up, because some people start on the straight and narrow, and then they stop, they give up. Some people start and give up. Some people don't start at all. But then there are one or two, a few, that get on it, and they're like committed. Okay, whatever. Whatever I'm going to get is better than what I have. The misery I have. So if I'm going to have more misery, I just have more misery. But I'm going to see if there's something other than what I've been living. And they made it good for those ladies. Because some of them were thinking that they had to be married or somehow or another they needed a man to guide them back. They didn't know that the man is the Spirit of God and that he would guide them by the light. And Christ came to save all, not just men, not just the rich, not just women, but all, men and women and everyone. Because everyone was in hell and still in hell until you forgive. There's no restriction in that. He'll take this one, but not that one. He will accept the one that wants to be accepted. He's not going to force it, though. And so he'll let you just live in your hell. Live with the devil and die with the devil. Because that's what you want. And as a result, people who are waking up, men and women, they start to see that, well, you know what, I used to think that everybody wanted to be free, but I see now that everyone don't want to be free. I don't care how family members, husband, wife, children, whatever it might be, you leave them alone and let them suffer in their hell. You wish them well. You wish them well. So stay with it, ladies. Stay with it. In our women's forum on the third Thursday night of the month, we've been having some amazing fellowship. The ladies those ladies want to overcome too, and they are. They're just staying with it, even the painful death of the ego. A lot of ladies would give up on that, as do weak men. But some of those ladies are like, nope, I'm hanging in there. Whatever hanging in there is, there has to be something better than what I've been living within myself. Amazing. And as a result of hell on earth, inside of people, human nature is evil. Don't let anyone tell you that human nature is not evil. It is. And there are humans who are overcoming human nature, which is of the devil. But human nature is evil. Once you see how the devil operates in you, the spirit of evil, you're going to see it clearly how it is in others that you didn't even see before. Because you thought certain people were kind of nice. That's a nice one. Oh, that's a decent person. Those are the worst ones. What the? But you're going to understand it. And it won't be personal. And so as a result of human nature being evil, Not only do you have people in your circle, your family, your friends, your co-workers, your acquaintances, your church members, whatever it might be, trying to punish you because they're miserable, and the devil love arguing and going after other devils or people who are in the light. They're doing it in big ways. The government and the media and others are doing it to you too. It's the same spirit, folks. If you notice in our country, my country today, regular working people are punished. You know, I was talking to Bill about all this yesterday, capitalism and not capitalism, but democracy and republic and what's really going on. And he laid it out. So if you didn't catch it yesterday, you can podcast with Bill Lockwood yesterday. But the same misery that the government, the media, and the others are bringing upon the people in a big way, it's the same thing that's happening in your world. It's the same spirit. And once you see it in your world, in your personal world, you're going to see what's going on in other people's world too. And they can't help it. They can't help it. They're driven, they're possessed, and they're driven by evil, but they call it good. Regular working people are punished. Did you ever imagine that that can happen in America? This is from Breitbart. New York City is ready to hit residents with visitors. New York City is ready to hit residents and visitors with a congestion charge. A congestion charge after federal approval was granted Monday for its first in the nation plan to impose toll to drive into parts of Manhattan. Watch this from Pix 11.
Congestion pricing for New York City is shifting into the fast lane. The Federal Highway Administration is green-lighting the plan. That means people driving into Manhattan from New Jersey below 60th Street would have to pay a potential $23 congestion pricing fee. Supporters say it'll reduce traffic congestion and help the Metro Transit Authority through its financial crisis. It may even persuade more people to start taking public transportation or carpooling. The MTA is calling this a, quote, generational opportunity to make it easier for people to get around in and get to the central business district by reducing traffic and funding improvements to the public transit system. On the other side, critics of the congestion pricing program say it's going to be a huge drain on commuters' wallets, especially those coming from New Jersey. Here's an example of how this change could affect them. The Port Authority toll is currently $17. Congestion pricing south of 60th Street will potentially add a new $23 charge. You can, of course, add that to the steep price of parking in the city, let's say $50, and you quickly see how a simple trip into Manhattan could cost $90 per day.
Wow. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? So the way I see it, number one, they want to control you. That's number one. They're driving you into their arms. Number two, they're trying to take you, I believe, out of your automobiles by force, since some of you seem not to choose to do it. And they want to put you on the subway, the trains, where you can get beat up. And now you're arguing and scared and over that. It's all about control. This is ridiculous. That's why they have all the illegals coming in and all that kind of stuff. They're trying to create total chaos in your life to get control of you. People with anger love control. And so you see that in a big way, right? Who's going to pay all that money just to go into Manhattan? What the? But you see it happening. One thing after another. Create more chaos. Create chaos. Now look at it in your own personal life. Look at your world. You have the enemy within, the imagination and emotion, the devil, the evil spirits, creating nothing but chaos in your life. Chaos meaning depression, comparison, loneliness, suicidal thoughts, comparing yourself to others, envy, strife in your life, right? And then you go out and try to put that on others. You go out, your whole mission in life is to make someone else feel what you're feeling, thinking that you're going to feel better. Same thing with the government. That's all. It's the same spirit. Their job is just a little different job where you see what they're, in the media and stuff, what they're doing. But it's the same spirit. It's no different than what is happening in your own personal life, your world. Your world is the world. And if you can get hold of your world, you can get hold of all this mess that's happening. Really. You're going to be surprised, pleasantly surprised, that once you get a hold of your world, no one else can impose their world on you, though they will try. Because human beings get a joy out of trying to hurt other human beings because they're miserable. They don't pray for you. God said pray for one another. But they don't pray for you. They try to hurt you. That's all. It's the same identical thing. So why don't you today, right now, decide that you're going to take care of your world? You're going to be of the world, but in your world. And in your world, it's not an ego thing. It's a overcoming, and it's a protection for you given to you by God. Given to you by God. One of the saddest situations, but not only. I talked to a lot of Christians over the years, and they quote the Bible, they're emotional, they have anger, and just miserable. But they justify the misery because they're listening to imagination again and don't know it. They literally justify the misery without even questioning it. Okay, if Jesus had anger, because they all say Jesus had anger, and they compare the anger to their anger. So if Jesus had anger, and you have anger, and you're miserable in your anger, do you believe Jesus had anger and he was miserable? You're miserable. You don't have any happiness in anger, no peace. So why not question? Okay, if anger is good and Jesus had anger, why don't and I have it and I'm miserable with anger? Even though your mind try to make you notice how the mind try to make you justify all things? But even in justifying the anger, you're still miserable. So I wonder out loud, was Jesus miserable? And they say that God, and I hear it a lot, God was vengeful. And they're vengeful people, and so they think God had the same venge that they have. It doesn't mean that, folks. Wake up so you can see what's going on. It's up to you. I realize most will not. Just think about that. It's going to cost you almost $100 to go into New York. And the people who are making these new rules, they love it because they know you're suffering. Just like the people in your little world, they love it because they know that they can make you suffer even more. They know you're suffering in your imagination and emotion because they are. And so they impose on you so they can feel a little better, far better feeling because it doesn't last. It's the same thing. The battle is a spiritual battle. It's a warfare between good and evil. It is not physical. It is not what you've been told. So why not take control of your life and see what's going on with you? Question you. The New York Post is reporting, here is some more inflicted misery upon the people to get a sense of false life, false power and wealth. New York Post report, environmental bureaucrats are out to save you from pizza. Pizza! Did you ever imagine? Most people like pizza. New York City is set to restrict emissions from coal and wood fired by pizza owners in restaurants. Watch this from CBS.
Capizzi Pizzeria in Hell's Kitchen, the brick oven brings a kiss of crisp. Owner Joe Calgagno built it himself in 2008.
It's actually the focal point of our business.
Calgagno learned the trade from his dad, secrets now shared with his children. But he's concerned he may have to make a change under the city's new proposed rules.
At the end of my career, I have debt that I have accumulated since COVID, and the city just comes up with another crazy idea every time.
The Department of Environmental Protection wants restaurants like Capizzi to potentially slice carbon emissions by 75%, saying in a statement, wood and coal-fired stoves are among the largest contributors of harmful pollutants in neighborhoods with poor air quality. This common-sense rule, developed with restaurants and environmental justice groups, requires a professional review of whether installing emissions controls is feasible. For some, that could mean machinery costing tens of thousands of dollars.
You know how many pizzas I have to sell to pay for that $20,000 oven? Already, our customers already endured so much with the supply chain and with everything else.
We have the most violent raging crime rate ever. We are being invaded by illegal immigrants who are being treated way better than our homeless veterans. And the woke punks who run New York City are afraid of pizza. Give us pizza or give us death. Give us pizza or give us death.
Amazing. Environmental justice. What the? You see how they're bringing misery and fear upon this guy? That's happening in your world too. Your friends, your family, your enemies, your church members, your whatever. The devil inside of you. It's the same thing, folks. But because you're not seeing yourself, what's going on with you, you're not seeing what's going on out there inside of others. It's the same devil. It's the same spirit. And the guy throwing the piece across the fence there, a gated fence, it's the same thing they did with the Boston Tea Party thing. Amazing, huh? And I saw this guy on Jesse Waters' show last night. I believe it was Jesse. Yeah, Jesse Waters' show. I think it was Jesse on Fox. And the guy said now the mayor want to meet with him. And at first I believe he said at first he was not going to meet with him, but he said that he's an activist. This guy's an activist that's throwing the piece across the fence. So he's going to meet with him. When will you take hold of your own life? When will you enough be enough for you as an individual? And where will you muster up the want to stand alone to overcome? If not now, when? Environmental justice. That's environmental justice, all right. I got to take a quick break. I'll be back in a moment for your phone calls and super chats and more amazing evil news. I'll be back in a moment. I have books that are amazing. I highly recommend you get them. 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual, Family, and Financial Success Guide. even if you're not starting a business, but you have a job or you're on welfare, it can help you if you do. Be doers of the word, all right? From rage to responsibility. From rage. That's what I write about in the first chapter, especially how I overcame. Scam. How the black leadership exploits black Americans. They're using them. The blacks are too willing to be used. And then my last book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. They are all amazing books, and they are helpful. Go to rebuildingtheman.com if you want an autographed copy, or call 800-411-2663.
What the?
Okay, welcome back. So, the Hake Report is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning. TheHakeReport.com. And if you did not catch Joy of Friday on yesterday, on Tuesday, he black. Podcast Joy of Friday TV. It was amazing. Hake is from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby. At 12 noon Pacific time. If you missed it yesterday, podcast the American Anchor Baby yesterday. He was on fire. Like nothing going knows. And for personalized shout-outs, and a lot of people ask me about personalized shout-outs. Yes, I do them myself for you. Wedding shout-outs, congratulations shout-outs, just plain old shout-outs. What anniversary, whatever the occasion. One guy was getting married, and he wanted a shout-out to propose to his wife, to his girlfriend. I did it. Go to Cameo, CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. And don't forget to check out the merch. Amazing merch at rebuildingtheman.com/store. What the? Oh, amazing merch. And the White Houston shirts are coming up soon. Just be patient. We're almost there. July just feels white. We're getting it ready. We have a brand new episode of the FallenState.tv this Friday. If the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. I had an amazing conversation with Seabow and Snapper. Seabow and Snapper from the Seabow and Snapper YouTube channel. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
You obey him?
I'm not too fond of the word obey.
And have you forgiven your mother?
She's 83.
Well, you better tell her before she dies.
Stop it.
You gotta forgive your mother, man. You just like her. I see her in you.
Would you ever get married or no?
I don't want that hell in my life. Can't you tell you're afraid of his mama?
Oh, no, not afraid. According to the show, we're supposed to be on politics. I didn't know we were coming to Jesse's show for this.
I know, me either. What the? It was fun. It was amazing, but yet a deep lesson. You can learn a lesson and don't have to be dreary about learning the lesson. All right. So this Friday at 12 noon Pacific time, If the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. And don't forget, you can support the Fallen State by becoming a member on the YouTube channel there. All right. Let me go to Patricia, a first-time call out of New York. Patricia, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse.
Hey,
I
Patricia.
really like your show.
Thank you.
I really enjoy it. My question is, how do I know if my husband is a beta male?
And do you know what a beta male is, the definition of a beta male?
Well, I know what you have, things that you have said, a Christian and stuff, right?
Right.
And other things. Okay.
Let me ask. Do you obey your husband?
No.
Beta male.
Okay.
Does he?
But is that?
Go ahead.
Is that so? It's my fault.
No, it's not your fault at all.
Okay.
He was
okay.
already. The one thing I want all human beings to know is that it's not anyone else's fault, except for when we were kids. Our parents recreated us in their image. But other than that, it's nobody else's fault for the way you are. Nobody else. So no, it's not your fault. It's his fault. And it's your fault that you're the way you are because only you can overcome and he can't make you. And you cannot make him overcome.
Okay.
So what is it like not having to obey him?
It's confusing because we have kids and they see it. And so, you know.
How old are the kids?
I have 23 and 19 daughters.
A daughter 19 and a son 23?
No, both daughters.
Oh, both daughters. Okay. And so when you tell him about it, that you want him to be in a standard of life where you have no other choice but to obey him, what does he say?
Oh, you mean in a circumstance where I have to obey him, you mean?
In all circumstances, yes.
Oh, wait, can you repeat that?
Why don't you obey him?
Oh, well, because he doesn't have Christian values, and I do.
And you do.
And
what are
can't
Christian?
go against God.
I'm sorry?
I don't want to go against God. I'd rather have God, first, and have my husband, my son. So.
But isn't it a Christian value to obey your husband?
Yes, I know that.
So you're going against the value. What the?
I know.
I thought you didn't want to go against the Christian value.
I do, but it's really hard. Like I said, it's confusing that I just can't obey a man that does not put his trust in God. So I'm having, struggling.
Oh, okay. And so
it's a struggle every day.
And so, do you put your trust in God?
Yes, I do.
Then why are you struggling to obey?
Why am I struggling? Because that human nature in me, just to do it. Well, my way is God's way, and of course, I'm very strong. I have, I'm opinionated. I'm a New Yorker, and I got that total. So I struggle to do it when it's not my way, which is God's way.
So if you're not
does that make sense?
If you're not obeying him, how is that God's way?
Because, well, like I said, it's confusing because if he does things that are not God's way,
but you're doing things that are not.
That's when I have a problem.
Are you having a problem with you doing things that are not God's way?
Yes.
You have a problem?
No, not me personally. I've been a Christian all my life. No, I have no problem doing what God tells me to do. But like I said,
but you're not obeying though.
I know, and that's
so you do have a problem. You do have a problem.
Yeah, I do. I have a problem.
But why are you saying you don't have a problem with not doing doing the God's way?
Oh, no, I mean, it is a problem. No, I don't have a problem following God's way.
But you're not obeying your husband.
It doesn't involve, I'll change it. And when it doesn't involve him telling me something, that isn't God's way. Other than that.
Are you able to say what he is asking you to do, that's not God's way?
Do I tell him? Yes.
No, I'm asking you, are you able to say what it is? Give me an example of what it is your husband is asking you to do that's not God's way.
Sometimes he'll want me to lie about things, or I can't. Not maybe I don't know. It's hard for me to think right now. But so let's say lie about things, and the way we're raising our daughters, I totally don't. So I fight him back. I say, no, I'm not going to do that.
Amazing.
Not right.
And so give me an example, if you can, of how you guys are raising his daughters, and it's not God's way.
Well, okay. So my older daughter just moved in with her boyfriend, and I'm very upset about it. And he doesn't even have an opinion. And I want to confront her, and he just doesn't care.
And how old is she?
He's 23.
She's 23. And you say he doesn't care?
He doesn't seem to care, no. Makes jokes about it. Makes a joke.
Oh.
And I don't find it funny. I know.
What kind of?
I don't even know why I called.
What kind of joke he makes about it?
I don't even remember. Like, he'll just joke how, I don't know. I don't even remember.
Both of you, is his daughter and your daughter, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And so, and you said that you're upset about it?
Yes, I'm very upset.
And why?
Because it's shacking up. I told her, you're shacking up. And and I want to go to the guy, her boyfriend, and to have a talk with him and say, why should I be the one saying, what are your intentions? And, I don't approve of this. He would never do that. I do it.
And so why you're so upset about it since it's not you?
Why am I upset?
Yes.
Well, because, she's supposed to be getting married before you can back up.
But you've already taught her that growing up, right? While she was growing up.
I heard about what?
I said you told her that when she was younger.
Yes, always. I brought my children to church. I told them about God. She doesn't believe in God, actually. So, that's.
So you took her to church growing up, and now she doesn't believe in God?
Yes.
And why not?
She accepted Jesus when she was 4.
She accepted Jesus at 4?
Yeah, I know.
Why at 4?
I don't know. She went up and in the church. She walked up and she just accepted Jesus.
What?
About 4 or 5.
And so let me ask. So you taught her growing up to be married, not live with a guy, right?
Yes, always.
And so you laid the foundation, but she has decided for whatever reason that now she's an adult, she want to do it her way, right?
Yes.
And so why are you upset about that? She's a grown woman now.
Well, I guess I'm embarrassed that my daughter's doing this.
Why are you embarrassed? It's not you.
I know, but our children are kind of, represent something. I don't know. I just am. I'm hurt and I'm embarrassed that this is the.
But why? It's not happening to you and it's not you. And being a Christian, you say you believe in God. Why are you taking on someone else's pains?
Because that's what mothers do. That's what I've done all my life. I just take it. I just take it on myself. Because like I said, my husband doesn't.
Are you God?
I'm all alone.
Are you God?
Am I what?
Are you God?
Of course not. No.
So why are you taking on someone else's pain?
Because it's really, well, it's my daughter. It's not just someone else. It's my daughter.
Is it possible? Is it possible that you've been taking on her pain all your life, and now you driven her away from Christianity?
Maybe I maybe pushed too hard, but
you
my other
maybe
daughter
or you
stayed.
did.
I don't. Well, I had to compensate for not having a Christian husband. So yeah, I definitely pushed because I didn't have, a Christian husband. So it was me, all me.
And
pushing.
So is she and her boyfriend living with you?
No, they do not live with us.
They live on their own.
Yes.
Okay. And so why not go and apologize to her for imposing your will on her and your little Christianity rather than going there being angry and trying to make her do it your way, what you think is right? Why not apologize to her for imposing your will on her? Because that's why she's doing it. She resents you and she's trying to find love. And so she's going against everything that you are about. Why not apologize for imposing your Christianity and the way you think things should have been on her?
Well, I don't want to apologize for giving her Christ, for telling her about Jesus. So I don't really agree with that.
And you don't want to apologize for imposing?
I didn't push her out.
Yes, you did.
I didn't push her
You
out.
drove her out with your attitude.
No, I didn't. She went to college, which I didn't want her to go away for college. I wanted her to stay home. So, and she met a guy and got a job near where her boyfriend lives. So she thought it was easier. So it's just circumstances. I don't think I pushed that hard.
You pushed a little hard?
No, I definitely pushed hard, but I don't think that affected this. I think this was just the way everything worked out.
What have you done
and
wrong?
I've been praying for her.
What have you done wrong? You saying your husband did wrong with this, your daughter did wrong, your boyfriend, her boyfriend.
No, I've done nothing. I'm innocent. No, yeah. Well, what I did wrong was I married an unsaved man. So this is all my fault.
all you did. You married
I brought this upon myself. No, I take full responsibility.
So
because my husband.
The only thing you've done wrong is marry a non-Christian man?
Yes. Well, yeah, but that was the start of.
And what else? What else have you done wrong concerning the children?
What else? I've made normal mistakes. I yell a lot. I'm a very strong disciplinary. I always was. I was I took care of all the punishment. I took care of everything. So I was that type because my husband wasn't. Because you said, he's beta, obviously, right?
But your kids hate you.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. I promise you they do. Because you call yourself a strong disciplinary. There's nothing worse than a willful mother. And you call it strong. There's nothing worse than a mother that turned the children away from their fathers. Your husband seemed to be relaxed and allowing life to happen, and you're trying to force life to happen, and it's not going the way you're trying to force it. But instead of looking at that, you're blaming your husband, you're blaming school, you're blaming your daughter, you're blaming her boyfriend. You're not seeing where you've gone wrong, so you can apologize.
Okay, I guess. But I don't turn them from my husband because they think he's the best.
See there? And you don't like that.
Oh my gosh, they just think he's wonderful.
And you don't like that, though.
Well, because I want them to love God. I want them to be Christian and follow,
But how
the
can they
God.
love God if they don't love their father, their earthly father?
No, they do love their father.
Right, but
I don't tell them not to.
But you don't like the fact that you worked so hard to raise them with this non-Christian man, and now they're loving their father and they're having a problem with you.
Yeah. I guess. I definitely don't. like that.
But how can you be a Christian woman and feel that way in your heart?
Because I'm human, and kids can, and they hurt you. They really do. I've never felt so much hurt, and I got married older, so but it's just.
But if you didn't
really
try
hard.
to. If you didn't try to will yourself upon the children, you would not be hurt by what they do as an adult.
Okay.
You owe them an apology.
So let's say I shouldn't have taken them to church?
No.
You mean, or?
You shouldn't have taken them to church, and you should not have imposed your will on them. You should not have gone against what your husband wanted you to do.
My husband didn't tell me not to do this.
Oh.
I told you he had no opinion.
Well, don't resent him for being weak. That is weakness. Based on that, that's what a beta is. He should have protected his children from you.
Well, he didn't have that in him.
Right.
But he claims he's a Christian also, but like I said, he doesn't really act it.
But you're not acting like a Christian either.
I know, but I had to fight. I felt like I was in fight mode all the time. I had to fight this for my family. I just was always.
But yet you end up
struggling.
destroying the family.
I don't know if it's like destroy though, because I feel like she might, if things might work out. I feel like she says she might marry him, so I'm hopeful. But he's also still not a Christian, and neither is she. So maybe it would be nice, but it's never too late. I'm still praying for them.
So listen, instead of praying for them, you owe your kids an apology for imposing your will on them.
I'm not good at apologizing. I got to work on that. Okay.
What kind of Christian are you? You can't even apologize when you're wrong.
I know. Well, that's my.
You see how you judging your husband for not being a Christian, and you're not one yourself.
No, I'm a Christian.
Well, why can't you go and apologize to your daughters for imposing your will?
I didn't say I can't. I said it's gonna be hard, but I'm gonna try.
Why is it hard?
I don't know. It's just hard for me because if I apologize, then that shows weakness. I feel
apology doesn't show weakness; that shows strength.
I know, and I hear that all the time on my Christian shows, and I'm working on it.
Have you forgiven your mother?
For what?
For recreating you in her image, because you just like your mother.
Okay.
Have you noticed you just like your mama?
Yeah, I see some of my mom and dad in me.
Can you hold on for a minute?
Yes.
Hold on. Let me take a quick break. I got to take a break. Another hour to go. Back in a moment. Hake is coming in with the hate news. Not the fake news, but the hate news. And I'll be back. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
That Russian so-called insurrectionist oligarch, Yevgeny Prigozhin, I almost said Crosby, is in Belarus. And I have more old news. They're digging up old news on the 2020 election. They're trying to go after Rudy Giuliani. Based Rudy Giuliani. I use the term loosely. And a former NFL quarterback, White, he died in an apparent drowning off a Florida beach in the Gulf Coast. Yikes. Watch out for those rip currents, actually. And extreme weather is happening. Extreme. This is the end of hour 1 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Wednesday, June 28th, 2023 AD. Stay tuned for hour 2. Jesse Lee will be right back to your calls. Continuing with that great call. And some fun stories. But first, Hake news, not fake news. Russia drama. Coming Nonsense Network. CNN reports Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin has arrived in Belarus, according to the country's president, days after the mercenaries' military insurrection posed an unprecedented challenge, to the Russian leadership. Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko said he stopped Russian leader Vladimir Putin from destroying the Wagner group, Wagner is what it looks like, and its chief after the armed revolt over the weekend. Quote, I suggested Putin not to hurry. Let's talk with Prigozhin, with his commanders, said Lukashenko. The longtime Putin ally said he warned Prigozhin that he would be crushed like a bug, and that's a quote, if his troops continued their advance toward the Russian capital of Moscow. Planes, and I still have no idea what actually happened. I'm only gathering third hand. Planes linked to Prigozhin were seen at a Belarusian air base in satellite images, but his specific location unknown. Meanwhile, a Russian strike killed 9 in Kramatorsk, Ukraine, so said officials, because they're continuing to fight both sides, on many sides. 2020 election, more old news. Federal investigators, scum of the earth, am I right? Oftentimes, interviewed Rudy Giuliani, former New York City mayor, the best New York City mayor in recent memory, perhaps, as part of the special counsel's investigation into efforts to overturn the 2020 election results, which were the most secure in history. Multiple sources familiar with the meeting told Common Nonsense about this thing. This meeting between Giuliani, his attorney Robert Costello, and investigators took place in recent weeks. The sources declined to say what investigators' questions focused on during the meeting, not previously reported, by the way. Special counsel Jack Smith, has not announced any charges from his investigation into efforts to block the certification of the 2020 presidential election, but prosecutors appear nearing charging decisions, sources say. Giuliani was a former attorney for our greatest president, Donald J. Trump. And did he ever turn on him? Not that I'm aware of. I could be wrong. Gulf Coast, watch out for those rip tides, which are not actual tides, they're currents. Swim perpendicular to the current, parallel to the shore, I suppose. Former NFL quarterback Ryan Mallett, with 2 T's, died yesterday in an apparent drowning off of a Florida beach, so said authorities. And he was white, age 37. Adding to the grim toll along the Gulf Coast in recent weeks, rip currents have killed 11 people within 2 weeks along the Gulf Coast, preliminary data show. Are they blaming the rip currents or these people lack of skill in swimming and hanging on? Leading to warnings from officials about dangerous water conditions, the deaths have spanned the Gulf of Mexico between Fort Morgan, Alabama, and Panama City Beach, Florida. In the United States, the 10-year average for rip current fatalities is 71, according to Weather Service data. Rip currents were the 3rd leading cause of weather-related fatalities. They're calling it a cause. From 2013 to 2023, killing, supposedly, on average, more people than lightning, tornadoes, or hurricanes. And I do have an extreme weather update, but I'll have to share that with you in the end of the second hour, so hold on to your seats. And now back to JLP.
and to stand up strong. Think the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson, and welcome to the second hour of the show. Manhood Hour is coming up in the next hour, the third hour, every Wednesday. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE. My biblical question for this week is a doozy. My biblical question: what are you committed to? What are you committed to? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show, JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about anywhere in the world, no matter who you are or what you're doing, you can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500, 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us. Hit the like button, ring the bell, subscribe. JLP Talk on Twitter, and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram, and Kick.com. Kick.com. And also you can support us by going to cash.app/bondjlp, cash.app/bondjlp. All right? And to the super chat, I'm going to get to y'all in a minute. To donate and have your comments read out loud, go to JesseLeePeterson.live, JesseLeePeterson.live, and or buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. I want to go back to a first-time caller, Patricia, out of New York. And Patricia, oldest daughter, just moved in with a boyfriend. Patricia's a Christian. Her husband is not a Christian, and she's not very happy about her daughter living with the boy. Patricia.
Yes.
So, do you see that you're just like your mother?
No, I don't think so.
You don't have any ways that are like your mother?
No.
You have none?
I guess some ways, but my mother, my father was a Christian, so she didn't have this problem.
Do you see that you have imposed yourself upon your children in the same way your mother imposed herself on you, and you've done
sure.
I'm sorry?
Sure, yeah, I do.
And are you okay with doing to your children what you did not like your mother doing to you?
Well, I'm going to try, because I did call for your advice, so I am going to try to do that.
Do what?
To apologize.
To your children?
Yes.
Why is it so hard to apologize if you're wrong? God said, if you offended a person, go to them and apologize, and I will forgive you.
Well, I still don't 100% feel like I did offend them or something.
Well, why do you think
that I have to work on too?
Why do you think they have done everything that you did not want them to do?
Well, I think because maybe I might have done things my parents didn't want me to do, and they say, everything comes back.
Have you forgiven your mother for imposing her will on you?
Yes, I have no problems. Yes.
You
with my
told her?
Mom. Well, she's gone now.
Gone
but,
where?
She's in heaven.
She's in heaven?
Yes.
How
my
you
mom.
know she's in heaven looking up at you?
Looking up at me?
Right.
Oh. Well,
how do you know she's in heaven?
I've known all my life that she was born again Christian.
But how you know she's in heaven?
Well, that's what the Bible says.
What the Bible say? Your mama is in heaven?
The Bible says if you call upon me, yep. Salvation.
Have you forgiven your father for not protecting you from your mother?
Sure.
You told him that?
Well, I've told him that he's been a good dad.
But you lied
He's
to
been
him.
a great dad.
Why'd you lie?
lied to him. Well, hasn't been perfect, so it's really not a lie. I didn't say perfect. No, but no parent is perfect. So I thanked him. He's been a great dad, and I don't have any.
Amazing. You know what? You sound like a nice lady, but you're not paying attention to you. You're not looking at where you're going wrong. The one beautiful thing about knowing God, and the only way that we're going to know Him, we can know Him, is that we got to look at ourselves and see where we are wrong. And in seeing where we are wrong, He would change that.
Well, you want to hear something funny? I feel like today, God spoke to me. I didn't want to say this to you. God spoke to me about working on apologizing also. So that's weird. It's funny that you said that.
Yeah.
He's working.
He's working on you, right?
Yeah. I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to admit. But, yeah, he spoke to me this morning also about apologizing. And I said to myself, okay, I'm going to have to learn. And then you said it.
So do you think you're perfect?
I'm in trouble.
Do you think you're perfect and everyone around you are wrong?
Oh, do I think everyone around me is wrong?
Yes.
If they don't believe in God.
And then,
I guess a little bit.
And do you think you're perfect?
No. Every day I struggle.
You struggle with
things
what?
I do. Things I do, mistakes. No.
So here's what I recommend. You owe your husband and your daughters an apology for imposing your will on them. And they're grown women now, and you need to let go and let them go through what they got to go through, because maybe in their suffering they may cry out to God. But as long as you impose your will on them, you're going to keep them away from God.
Okay.
Because they're going to say in their hearts, if this is what God is like, I don't want no God. Because they're not going to be like you. Here they love their father. You said they're close to their father. They love their father. And you said the father is not a Christian. So they're taking on the father who is, quote unquote, not a Christian, but rejecting you who's supposed to be a Christian. You know something wrong with you.
I know. So I'm trying.
So you owe them an apology.
Okay.
All three of them.
I'm working. I'll work on that.
Well, don't work on it. Just go to it. Hey, I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
I feel like then that's giving them the okay to really misbehave, to really just go crazy in life.
So
because a lot of times they hold back because of me. They say, Mom, I didn't want to tell you about this. So they're actually holding back.
So you think not for apologizing is keeping them from doing what they want to do?
Well, it's like giving them a okay. Go ahead, do what you want.
Why are you listening to the devil while claiming to be a Christian? You listen to the devil.
Well, this is the devil's world, right? We live with the devil, yeah. I guess.
But you're supposed to be in the devil's world, but listen to God.
I try. I really do. Sometimes I might get fooled. And I think it's God and it's the devil. But like I said, I don't know, and I don't want to give them a free pass.
But
I feel like they're
Patricia,
holding
they're grown
back.
now. You're not giving them anything.
No, I still guide them. I feel like I still need to guide my children.
But they're
and
not
tell them,
children.
like,
They're adults.
I know, but we call them our children. We don't say, "Oh, my young adult," right?
Why don't you
Whenever
say
you
that?
talk- because it's just the way it is.
It's not
Those
the
are
way
my
it is.
kids.
The way
I
it
say
is,
kids.
they're not your
Well,
kids.
what do I call them? What do I call them?
Because, so what?
Well, how should I talk about, like, my daughters then?
Yeah,
I'll just
my
say daughters.
My daughter, and when you talk to them, you call them Mary and Louise, whatever the names are, and stop calling them your kids. They're not your kids anymore.
So, yeah, but I'm not giving them up to the world, not yet.
You've already
So
You've already pushed them into the world.
Well, I'm going to push them back. I'm going to
can't.
keep pushing.
Yeah,
I think I can.
And the more you push, the deeper they're going to go into the world.
You know, a mother's love, though, it's very strong.
Yeah, it will kill you.
So it's going to be hard.
You're right. A mother's love will
I got to
kill you.
keep pushing.
A mother's love will kill
They kill you with love.
It would drive you to the grave.
Yeah, I know.
Patricia, I got to run. How you doing my silent prayer?
Thank you. No, what's that?
I want you to go to www.silentprayer.video. www.silentprayer.video or rebuildingtheman.com/church.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna.
And I want you to do your little hooping and hollering prayer. And when you're done with your hooping and hollering, be still and know God.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
And I want you to know,
Thank you, Jesse.
a mother's love is not love. A mother's love is hate, which means control.
Okay.
You're trying to control them, and that's not love.
So how did you come up with this? How do you figure that?
The same
Where
way
did you
you're
come
going to
up with
see it once you pay attention to you. I promise you,
Uh-huh.
once you start looking at what's happening inside of you, and you're going to know the truth. The truth will guide you.
Okay. Yes.
And stop listening to the devil. All thoughts are all lies all the time. You're worshiping the devil when you listen to thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That's right. That's true. Thank you.
All right?
Thank you for your time.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Let me know how it goes. And apologize to your kids and your husband.
Okay.
All
I'm
in the
working on
name of Jesus.
In the name of Jesus. Thank you, Jesse.
All right.
God bless.
You too.
God bless you.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay. Amazing. I'm telling you as a witness, I've been in that hell that everybody else is in that has not overcome. So I totally understand it. But you can come out of that hell. You don't have to live in that hell. But I know most people will. They love their hell. Most people love it. They'll fight for it and call it heaven. Amazing, right? Super chat. Super.
Super chats. Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Hey, how you?
Doing well. How are you?
Amazing.
New watch alert.
That's right. Check out my watch. Can we get a close up?
Oh, yeah.
No, and I don't even wear watches, right? But I put this on just so you can see it. Matthew gave me this watch. It's a Great White Hope watch.
Amazing.
Amazing. It's sharp.
It really is.
It really is sharp.
It's like James Bond.
Should what the? Thank you, Matthew, for the watch. And then yesterday, someone sent me a Great White Hope chia pet. You know what a chia pet is?
Yeah. Like a hedgehog.
What the?
Yeah. And so right now we're letting the hair grow out of the chia pet. And once I get it, I'll show it to you. It's amazing. It's a Great White Hope chia pet. Thank you for sending that. I forgot the name of the person. Sam. Thank you, Sam. I got it yesterday. And thank you, Matthew, for the birthday watch. The Great White Hope.
Nice.
Making America great again. Not China, but America.
Right on.
So, a great watch. Thank you. Amazing.
Nice.
It looked nice on my arm, huh?
It has an eagle on it.
That's right. Oh, yeah, right in the center.
Real American.
That's right.
Real distinguished.
I have a watch too.
Oh, Lord. Everybody got a watch.
Look.
Except
Nice.
baby.
You have a watch, Hassan?
I own watches, but I don't wear them anymore because my phone tells time.
Yeah.
But
Everybody,
a watch is handy.
everybody
That's
got
true.
a watch except baby Jessica and Daddy.
I have a plastic Casio.
Nice. That's a cool watch.
James, your watch nice.
Thank you.
Your watch nice too.
Is it a calculator watch?
No, I sold that one
Oh,
to Daniel.
nice.
I mean, super chat.
Riley JM.
No,
on,
I bet you the Anchor Baby now. The Anchor Baby gonna have a watch. And Sean.
True.
Well, we all got, we all want to be like Jesse.
You better try to be like Jesus. No, I'm playing. Go ahead.
Riley JM on Streamlabs. JCLeePeterson.live. All thoughts are lies. I questioned my life for months ago. Before I found your channel, I asked, why do I live but have this other life going on in my head? It felt like two lives I was living. It made no sense to me.
Amazing.
Interesting.
Stay with it, watch stuff, and let it happen. Amazing. Thank you.
On D Live, a couple of diamonds from Evgeny Crosby. Not to be confused with Yevgeny Prigozhin. He gave a couple of diamonds. Bill Gates released some special mosquitoes in Florida and Texas. Isn't he nice?
What's a special mosquito?
I don't know. This is the first time hearing this news.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I hadn't heard that before.
A couple more Streamlabs donations. Testing 07524 says, what do you all think of street preachers? They are Bible thumpers, but do a good job versus street normies in big cities.
What's a normie?
Normie is somebody who's uninitiated, somebody who doesn't know what's going on, somebody who's a sucker, somebody who's ignorant.
I don't know of any street preacher that's doing an amazing job, to be honest. So I don't know. I don't have an opinion. Though I interviewed a street preacher recently for the Fallen State, and he's definitely a nice guy for sure. But I just don't quite. It reminds me of church.
You've interviewed a couple of street preachers, I mean.
Yeah.
Over the years. A few of them over the years.
Because what I noticed is that street preachers tend to think that they get people saved in the same way going to one of those churches. They think people are getting saved.
I remember one guy said that he's doing it because that's what the Great Commission or something like that says to do. It was a commandment to go preach.
But it didn't mean go out there, hoop a holler, and carry all that to folks.
Remember that open
You have
air
to tell
preacher?
him that. Brother Dean Saxton?
I don't think that was his name. He said he's an open air preacher.
Reuben Israel?
I don't know. But anyway.
No, I don't remember.
Brother Dean called himself an open air preacher.
Amazing.
Anyway.
But thank you. Thank you.
Prince Vibes on Streamlabs says, thank God for that caller. Lets me know I'm on the right track with my kids. It's on them to go to follow God and make the best decision for themselves. I'm not going to worry about them or push my will on them. JLP is amazing. Shout out to judgy moms praying to the devil.
Shout out to Amazing, as Hake would say. Shout out to White History Month next month.
Indeed.
Thank you. Amazing. Thank you.
Star Sion on JessePeterson.live. Jesse Bear? ? How do you deal with a person of authority who's constantly targeting you? may have a personal interest in you, and you're not giving them the attention they want. How do you deal with them, making it an uncomfortable place to work at?
By not resenting them. And if, so she said they're trying to hit on her?
It sounded like what she was saying. They may have a personal interest in you, and you're not giving them the attention they want.
But if you don't know that for sure, that they're interested in you that way, don't assume at all. Because when you assume it, Satan's going to work on the mind even more so. Look at them, they trying to hit on you. You don't want them. Ew, this and that. And then he'll make you react in the wrong way, and you regret it later. So just don't resent. Stay away from anger. And do your work and be polite and see what happens. And if he tries to hit on you and you're not welcoming him to hit, just say no thanks. There's nothing wrong with him hitting on you. If you're a beautiful woman, that's what men do. See, it's not personal, and you can always say no thanks. Really, and your light will shine. But the first thing is don't get angry about it, so you end up in your head. All right? I wish you well. Thank you, Sion.
And you don't have to end your sentence with a preposition. How do you deal with them making it an uncomfortable place to work? That you can end it there. You don't have to say at to work at.
She black.
But that's all right.
She black.
I do have some biblical question responses if you want to hear some.
Okay.
So the biblical question of this week is, you don't want to say it?
Oh. What are you committed to? What are you committed to?
Trevor on Twitter says family.
Okay. I'll put my 2 cents on Sunday. Thank you.
Rob on Twitter says getting to heaven.
That's interesting. I'll put my 2 cents on Sunday.
I thought so too. Jacob says not, this is on Facebook and IG, I think. Not needing validation. That's what Jacob Sr. says not needing validation. That's what he's committed to.
Interesting. I'll put my 2 cents in. Thank you.
Aaron on IG says God and my children, sometimes even my goals, but usually just God just guides me until I achieve my goals. Also, growing my pumpkins, tomatoes, jalapenos, and watermelons might grow potatoes this year.
Nice. That reminds me that July is coming up, right? And I think July is when you're ready to go out in the fields and bring in the crops.
Oh, nice.
If I remember right.
Is it harvest?
And I remember those really nice watermelons.
Oh, sweet.
And they would be so nice that sometimes we would take one of them or so and crack it open right there in the field and just dig out the center of it.
I don't like watermelon.
Beta.
Alpha.
Beta.
If you turn it into a cocktail, then I can like it. Like what Trayvon Martin had. He had Arizona watermelon cocktail.
Where's Trayvon Martin now?
In heaven.
I rest my case.
Looking up from heaven.
He did.
You can't trust anything that's only 99 cents.
That's right.
You're not drinking watermelon, I'll tell you that.
Naturally and artificially flavored, maybe.
He's looking up from heaven.
Okay. Over on IG, that's Instagram, Jason Lee Peterson on Instagram, and Rebuilding the Man. Get Off My Lawn answers the biblical question. It's actually Get Off My Lawn X, which is Get Off My Lawn Kiss.
Nice.
She's committed to my husband and children, she says.
What are you committed to? So she said her husband and children?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Isn't that nice?
I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday.
Joyner on IG says avoiding BS, which is bogus speech. But he didn't write out bogus speech. He wrote it out, but he didn't write bogus speech. But that's what he's committed to, avoiding that.
Nice. Thank you.
Mikey, or Mickey, on Gab. Did you know JLP is on Gab? Jesse Lee Peterson.
You got to know how to gab.
What is he committed to? Being the best human I can be, following the teachings of Christ and pleasing the Father.
Amazing. Thank you. Amazing.
Also on Gab, Kelly County Farms says, I have a lot of practical commitments, but on a spiritual level, I am committed to overcoming the ego and remaining in the presence of God.
Deep.
Yep.
Thank you. Amazing.
On YouTube, Capitalist Piggy says, my answer will be wrong no matter what. This I have learned.
Oh, that's funny. Amazing. Thank you.
Calvin says, there is absolutely nothing on earth I will not drop in a moment's notice if that is what needs to be done.
Interesting.
So I guess he's committed to what needs to be done. Helen Perez says, nothing, because every time I've tried to commit myself to something, I've come up short.
That's from Helen?
Yeah.
If you're looking for an answer, go to Hell and Hunt. Remember that?
That sounds vaguely familiar.
You remember that, Hassan?
I do not.
Hell and Hunt.
What is that?
That sounds like a gal. Oh, go to hell and go hunting in hell? I don't know.
Thank you, Helen.
Cleopto says what he's committed to: wife, children, God, Jesus, nature, hobbies, work, reading, and alchemy.
Wow, he's busy.
And a bunch of emojis that I won't take up your time reading.
He's busy. Thank you.
Luciano says non-commitment is what he's committed to.
Amazing. We'll stop there.
Okay.
And I'll put...
That was a good stopping place.
Thanks for your super chats and everything and the feedback from the biblical question. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. I want to just remind you, we talked about the emissions and how New York is starting to treat the citizens there, and in my opinion, trying to control them even more so. Put fear into people and control them. Make the people suffer and control them. This is why you got to overcome all reactions. Stop reacting, and you cannot be controlled. All right? Stop reacting. And they pretend in New York and other places to be concerned about emissions. And according to Carbon Brief at BBC, and you don't hear any talk about China, right? They're saying that China emissions grew 4% in the first quarter of 2023, the highest on record. China emits more greenhouse gas than the entire developed world combined. Isn't that amazing? But nothing about China. Let's just destroy America. I wonder why. Why they complain about China? Is it because of money? Is it because of what? It ain't out of love, that's for sure. That is mother's love, what they're doing with China. That's not real love. I want to show you this graphic showing China pollution. I want to show you these graphics showing China pollution from 1999 to 2017. This is from WAWAMU. Every year, and it's a mess. China's number one. That's all like Hake music. But a number one, it means like America. This is all like Hake music. What the?
What the?
He's like, hey, and they sing great. Why don't we admit that much emission? If China can do it, we can do it. Back in a moment, a quick break. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry. because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. Okay, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. 888-775-3773. If you want counseling, we are the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I do it myself by phone, Skype, or FaceTime. And go to rebuildingtheman.com, family, individual, whatever, rebuildingtheman.com. Or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. All right. The Hake Report coming up at 9 a.m. from 9 to 11 a.m. today, Monday through Friday. The Hake, Hake report.com. And at 12 noon today, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby. And he's on fire at 12 Pacific time. And you do not want to miss that. And last but not least for now, brand new episode of the FallenState.tv. Had an amazing conversation with Sibo and Snapper from the Sibo and Snapper YouTube channel. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
You obey him?
I'm not too fond of the word obey.
And have you forgiven your mother?
She's 83.
Well, you better tell her before she dies.
Stop it.
You gotta forgive your mother, man. You just like her. I see her in you.
Would you ever get married or no?
I don't want that hell in my life. Can't you tell you're afraid of his mama?
Oh, no, not afraid. According to the show, we're supposed to be on politics. I didn't know we were coming to just the show for this.
I know, me either. What the? Fun people and serious. It was amazing. So don't forget, you can support the Fallen State by becoming a member there on the YouTube channel. One other thing I want to give you, then I go to the phone calls and the super chats again. We talked about the emission in China and nothing being said about it. China can do what they want, and they support China by buying stuff from China and all that kind of mess. While in our country, they're stifling Americans. Really. Destroying you. Not building, but destroying. And they're letting the illegals in like 90 going north. It's sad, folks, what's happening at our borders. At one point, we used to report on this happening in other countries at their borders. I never imagined that not one person in America would allow this to happen or be happy about it. Intentionally brings it on. They're letting these people come into is worse than what you can even imagine because the liberal press is not telling you about it. The government is not reporting it. And you don't know the depths of really going on. This is from Epoch Times. I want to say Epoch because it's EPOCH, but the white people keep telling me it's Epoch Times. Custom and Border Protection have intercepted an increasing number of foreign nationals from Russia and China. Watch this from News Nation.
They're dealing with the uptick in Chinese nationals, especially in the Rio Grande Valley sector, which it's unusual. Before, we would never see this many Chinese nationals coming across this area here.
The numbers back up Lieutenant Olivares. In the first 5 months of the 2023 fiscal year, there have been 4,366 encounters with Chinese nationals at the southwest border, with 1,368 in the month of February alone.
It's a very lucrative business for the smuggling organizations, especially dealing with Chinese nationals, where they're having to pay anywhere from $35,000 and up.
We saw the first-hand number of Chinese migrants making the journey.
Did you just arrive here in the United States?
Communicating through a translator app.
Yeah. Today.
Zhang Kaiyu is one of those individuals. He fled China because of the strict COVID-19 policies, sharing the video of what he had experienced before fleeing the country. His journey to the United States began in Ecuador.
Panama.
From there, Zhang made his way to Neocoli, Colombia, where smugglers coordinated his travel on the boats to Panama and passed through the Darien Gap. Zhang was issued a temporary visa in Mexico before finishing his journey over the wall and into the U.S.
Why did you decide to come to America?
Yearning for American freedom.
With Zhang, he was actually released last night by Border Patrol officials, and he's actually on a bus on the way to New York with a notice to appear. It's a pretty...
Wow. The wall going up. Amazing, huh? It's worse than what you can imagine, and they're not sending their best. Remember the Great White Hope said that they're sending these people, these asshole people from asshole countries or something like that. They're not sending their, even if they were sending their best, I don't want them. I want Americans to be I want American back. Clean up home first. They're not sending their best. This is for Breitbart. An illegal alien protested multiple times from arrest and deportation by the sanctuary county of Fairfax County, Virginia. Is now accused of attempting to kidnap a 4-year-old girl after breaking into an apartment. Watch this from Fox.
24-year-old Hiram Bacadano Rodriguez found hiding inside this office building behind me after he's accused of attempting to kidnap a 4-year-old girl from her home nearby. We've learned this was his 4th encounter with law enforcement since 2022. Each time, ICE say they issued a detainer for Rodriguez, which could have led to him being deported back to Honduras. Each time, he was apparently released by Fairfax County Sheriff's Office. We've learned in 2022, Bacadano Rodriguez was arrested for entering a building and assault and battery. That same year, in November, he was apparently arrested for burglary. 4 months ago, he was arrested for a bail violation, and the most recent police encounter follows the same behavior pattern, burglary and attempted abduction.
Well, unfortunately, these policies choose politics over public safety, and that's our big concern. These policies endanger the lives of other community members overall.
Build the wall. What a mess. What a mess. If ever we needed the Great White Hope, we need him now. And let me see what he has to say, because this is a mess.
I love the First Amendment. Nobody loves it better than me. Nobody. Who uses it more than I do?
The Great White Hope, the watch from Matthew, the USA. I forgot who sent this. Amazing. That's amazing. The bob head. I have a bob head, Trump. Amazing, right? And from what I don't know. Oh, the wall going up. Yeah, Mr. President, take this home. The wall going up. redpillalliance.com. Amazing. The wall going up. And don't you wonder sometimes, or do you, who's really running the show? You have to wonder that, like, what the? Most people don't wonder that because they're not wondering what's going on with themselves. When you start questioning what's happening with you, you're going to see what's going on in the world. It's the same spirit, folks. It's the same spirit. And the beauty is the same spirit that raised Christ from the dead will raise you from the dead as well. And the same spirit that keeping you in hell, it's the same spirit running the government and the media and everything else. And the fallen Messiah and everybody. Aren't you wondering who is really running the show? Politico is reporting that Barack Obama has hosted a handful of lengthy private meetings with groups of next generation House Democrats. The fallen Messiah, Barack Obama, right? Designed for the former president to keep current with his party rising, quote-unquote, stars. I say, quote-unquote, stars. The sessions took place over cheese and crackers in Obama's Washington office. Isn't that amazing? Is the fallen Messiah still behind this? Or an report goes, he meeting with people like that, what's that woman name? That female from New York? Cortez and other people like that. Amazing, huh? Y'all better wake up before it's too late. There's a storm coming. A storm arising. Wake up. It's up to you. Let me go to Israel out of Houston, Texas. Israel, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Israel.
I want to know if you recognize that here in America, it seems like the white man or the white people are going down while the black people are going up.
Well, I do.
Have you recognize that?
Yeah, I do see that they're trying to take the white man down and pretend that the blacks are rising up, but they're not. In reality, the blacks are not rising up. They're getting worse. They're not going up. They're going down and don't know it.
I think the reason is because of social media and smartphones. We're able to videotape interactions with one another.
Yeah.
And the world is starting to see that white people tend to use evil tactics while black people use more righteous ways of living. Have you noticed that?
Give me an evil tactic.
Have you noticed that it happened at the same time?
I have not, but give me give me an example of an evil tactic that the white man is using.
Well, the most prominent one that people tend to record and put on social media for everybody to see is when these white people call the police on a black person just because they feel uncomfortable, even though if there's no crime being committed, because they're thinking back in the day when white people used to use the police as their personal security because they were afraid of black people. So I'm going to call the police on you.
And where did you see that? When did you see that?
When did I see what?
What you just
said. People call the police on somebody?
For no reason.
What? Well, one when a little girl was selling water. One.
You sound like that guy from Tony,
barbecuing.
like you're just making up stuff. But the one thing
You don't remember?
One thing I want to tell you, Israel, is that I would recommend that you get away from the color thing because
it's really confirming what you've been warning us about.
It's going to get worse, it's going to get worse before it get better. And the blacks are bringing hell upon America, and the government and the media, that includes the black government and liberal white government and the white media and the liberal black media. They're using black people in order to destroy America. They're not using blacks for the good. And I know it sounds like you may be into your blackness and you don't see what's going on.
I'm not black.
But I suggest that you open up your eyes and get away from the physical and look at the spiritual aspect of what is happening before it's too late, because everybody who have not returned to the Father is going to end up suffering for what's really going on. Thank you, Israel. Appreciate it. These people promoting evil and calling it good. And men are supposed to lead the way to good, not to evil. Point the way away from evil to good. And it's just wicked to hear Israel speak that way. It reminds me of Tony out of California. They just hate good. White people, you are not, never have been, never will be, ain't going to be, can't be the problem of black people. Zero. And black people, white people ain't, never going to be, can't be, won't be, is not going to be, can't be, ain't going to be your problem. You are your own problem. Anyone that blames any adult that blames anyone for your own problem, you're a fool. You're blind. You're evil. You're blind. You're evil. You're of your father, the devil. Not one other human being is responsible for you. Really. And you're letting these people tell you that it's black and white. You're worshiping evil. And getting a false sense of joy from it. You're worshiping evil. Josh is out of Georgia. There's one line open, 888-7753-773. Josh, welcome to the show. Georgia, on my mind.
All right, Georgia, on my mind. Yes, I was calling to answer the biblical question, man.
What are you committed to?
I would say it's just the top priority in my life is just that the principle of doing nothing until I see clearly what to do, which is basically not not giving into impulses and emotions and thoughts. And I didn't choose that. I don't see everything stems from. I see everything stems from that in my life. So, like, that's the one thing I have to focus on.
So you are committed to doing nothing?
Yeah. And I fail at it daily, but I see that all my problems or so-called issues come from when I'm not able to do nothing.
All of your problems or so-called issues come from when you're not able to do anything?
Yeah, when I
I don't understand that.
It's like it's when I'm impatient and I act on impulse.
But what do you mean by all your problems come from when you're not able to do anything?
Let's see here. It's like, I just see that that it's kind of hard to explain. It's like I see any way. Well, it's knowing which knowing how to not react to impulses from the thoughts.
But you don't react, and I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday about the biblical question, but the way you don't react, you just don't react. You don't do anything.
Right. And it's knowing, yeah. So that's hard. That's harder. That's hard to do.
That's what.
Apparently. Say again.
Why is it hard not to do anything?
Because I've been in the habit of doing something, you know, just responding all my life. Yeah.
Oh, I got you. I see what you mean. Amazing. Well, thank you, Josh. So what?
I said, no, yeah. I didn't say anything.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you, man, for your response. I definitely appreciate it. How are things on the road?
You know, it's the emissions thing is seems to be the biggest thing in trucking these days. And it seems like it's all about environmentalism. The companies are not trying to really make profit. I see that it's about being sustainable, is what they call it.
So the truck drivers have to make some type of change?
Yeah, that's been going on in the industry for the last, 10, 15 years, but because they're changing the trucks to electric. Our sleepers have electric output units, auxiliary, or they call them like the heating and cooling systems are all going electric, and then they're talking about Elon Musk electric trucks, and
so they're trying to put you guys out of business.
Yeah, that's where it's going. Say again.
They're trying to put you guys out of business.
They already control everything, so they're just tightening on the controls more.
What a mess.
I don't, they're just tightening the grip more and more and more. So
why don't
we'll see. And then that's part of the biblical question, like knowing when to get out and when not to, and what to do next or where to go, or like.
Are you doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
Yeah.
And you're watching the thoughts during the day?
Yes, sir.
Well, don't worry, you'll be fine. If you're truly doing that, you'll be fine.
All right. Yeah.
Amazing, Josh. Thanks for your call, man, and I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday, all right?
All right. No problem, man. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Amazing. What a mess. Another hour to go. This hour's up already. I got to take a quick break. There is one line open at 888-7753-773. Hake is coming in with the hate news, not the fake news, but the hate news. And I'll be back in a moment. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father. And you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it. And you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality.
Brutal heat wave is coming in, and there was a transgender study, suicide study. Lots of suicide happening among those transgenders. Don't do that. And that missing British actor's body was finally found in Mount Baldy. Oh, wow. And there's still bad air coming in from Canada into the United States. Thanks a lot, America's little brother. And some other stuff going on. Costco is asking for photo ID. How about voter ID? No. Still no. This is the end of hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Wednesday, June 28th, 2023 AD. Stay tuned for hour 3. Manhood Hour with JLP is coming right up to your calls and more stories. But first, Hake news, not fake news. After the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, the Hake Report. And after the Hake Report, at noon Pacific time today, 2 Central, 3 Eastern, American Anchor Baby. Check it out. Yesterday, we had Joel Friday TV. Check that out as well. And later this evening or late afternoon, the Bond Archive Sunday Service premiere will be out. Bond Archive Sunday Service premiering on Bond YouTube channel from 2014. How do you cleanse the flesh and spirit? Check it out. Extreme weather coming on Sunset Network. CNN reports a brutal heat wave is spreading across the South, the beautiful South, leaving millions of Americans sweltering under triple-digit temperatures. That means it's over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Extreme humidity, too. Forecasters warning that such heat waves are becoming more common because of the climate crisis, which I totally believe for the sake of our channels. Overnight temperatures, meanwhile, are not cooling down enough, offering little reprieve for people who don't have access to air conditioning. Access, communist buzzword. Those temperatures remain abnormally high, with potentially 180 nighttime records broken over the next few days. With more incidents of extreme weather, thousands of U.S. flights, too, have been delayed or canceled in recent days after powerful storms ripped through parts of the country, including the mid-Atlantic and sections of the Northeast, where many busy hubs are located, by the way. That transgender suicide study, people who misidentify, right, of course, as so-called transgender have significantly higher rates of suicide, which is, I thought we already knew that, and suicide attempts compared with the rest of the population. So said a study in Denmark. A study of more than 6.6 million people found that those who identified as so-called trans had 7.7 times the rate of suicide attempts and 3.5 times the rate of suicide deaths than the broader Danish population. Among the 3,759 survey participants who misidentified as transgender, there were 92 suicide attempts and 12 suicides between 1980 to 2021. Recent studies in the United States show that 82% of people who misidentify as transgender said that they considered killing themselves, and 40% have attempted suicide, with the highest number of suicides going among so-called trans youth. And they're trying to spread transgender among the youth. So evil, huh? Don't commit suicide. It's wrong. That missing British actor hiker's body finally found. British actor Julian Sands, S-A-N-D-S, known for his work supposedly in movies with A Room with a View, never heard of it. The Killing Fields, never seen it. Also Smallville and Gotham, haven't seen those either. Maybe a little Smallville. Has been found dead after going missing while hiking in California, SoCal, over here, just over that way, in January. He was 65 years old. His remains were found. I know he got lost in Mount Baldy, and I love that area. Terrible. Mount Baldy. Beautiful. How do you get lost in Mount Baldy? He ventured off the beaten path, I suppose. Still bad air in Canada. Remember that? 80 million people under air quality alerts as smoke from Canadian wildfires continues drifting into the United States. I thought that was over. I hadn't read about it. Anyway, voter ID is racist, but not Costco photo ID. They may ask for Costco photo ID to crack down on that membership sharing. Sounds like a page out of Netflix's playbook, so says the far-left females at the Skim. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
Got to stand up strong, think the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. My biblical question for this week. What are you committed to? What are you committed to? And if you're black, what is you committed to? What is you committed to if you're black? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show. jesseleepeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about anywhere in the world, we are heard around the world and to the flat earthers up and down the world. You can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad by calling 641-793-1500. That's 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us, JLP Talk on Twitter and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Hit the like button, ring the bell, subscribe, and all those good things. Y'all know exactly what to do. What the? So, it's the last hour of the show. Every Wednesday, the last hour is Manhood Hour. What is a man? What is a man?
It's an adult human male.
Manhood. Hillary or President Trump?
I voted for Hillary Clinton.
Beta male. A man is a male who turned to man. Alpha male. Live right, be right, and lead the way.
Look familiar? It's a stereotype that has been reinforced in the media for a while now.
Come on, Todd, flex them chicken wings.
Well, I travel a lot, and
The dumb husband and dumb dad character appears in a lot of ads.
And there you have it, the tree from which the apple fell.
I love your rap music.
I have a helicopter.
Ooh.
We should be going.
In the late 1960s, women in Britain and America began to fight for women's liberation. This political struggle resulted in the fastest and most significant transformation in women's lives there has ever been.
But in family court, you don't actually need evidence, is the issue.
No evidence was presented.
So they took him into foster care.
That's right.
So now he's not with you.
What actually happened was the psychologist took everything my ex-wife said as gospel truth.
Where are the parents? Where are the parents?
The video is hard to watch. A 15-year-old boy attacked by 6 people. The victim had gone there to play basketball, not expecting to get jumped.
Where are the parents?
Amazing. I hope Israel was watching that from Texas there, wherever you're from. Where are the parents? That is a great video put together by the Anchor Baby, the American Anchor Baby. Thank you, Nick. What a mess. Men, do you now see why you need it? And it's unfortunate that America allowed the women's movement to take over in the way they've done. It really is. Look what it's done to the country. Nothing good has come from it. Zero good has come from it. There's an order to life, and that order is in your private life and public life. God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children. There is no other way that is going to work. Sorry. There will become a time when I return the children to the fathers and the fathers to the children. They ain't say turn the children to the mothers and the mothers to the children. It said fathers. Boys and girls, men and women need the father. And the devil got you trying to make everything else work. It ain't going to happen. It's just going to be more hell, more hell, and more hell, and more hell, and more hell, and more hell. In your personal private life and public life, if you don't overcome evil. Anyone that has anger is evil. Anyone that has anger has fear. Anyone that has anger has hatred. You're of your daddy, the devil. You must be born again of the Father. Is it going to get worse? Ain't no way it's going to. I don't care how many new ideas you come up with, new things you build or don't build, or what you'll plan. It ain't going to get better. Look at the blacks. They've only gotten worse. Generation after generation, no matter what you try to do to the white man. It ain't made the blacks better, period. And it ain't going to make him because it's spiritual. And white man, you can run all the way to Hirschboro. It ain't going to get better. It ain't going to get better. You ever thought about taking off from work? You know, you're at work, but you just want to go home. Well, here's one way to get off work. This is from the Blaze. An Oklahoma gas station employee wanted to go home early, so he asked someone to rob him at work. Watch this at Fox, from Fox.
Police arrested Isaiah Jones, Aaliyah Locke, and Stephen Jones, saying the three made a plan to hold the store up altogether.
Yeah, quite the plan, huh? This is the Quick Trip where that clerk was working. Again, police said he was a little bit tired, phoned a friend who phoned another friend so he could rob the store and get off a little bit early.
Police say the man you see walking into this Quick Trip was just helping out a friend.
The Quick Trip employee was tired of working and wanted to get off early.
Sergeant Stephen Blaylock is talking about the Quick Trip employee Isaiah Jones,
who got a couple people on board to basically stage a robbery at the Quick Trip.
Police say Jones texted Aaliyah Locke.
There was a female involved that was kind of the getaway driver,
who then got a hold of this man Stephen Jones you see here in the hoodie.
He approached the cashier and handed him a note that basically said, "Give me all the money or I'm going to shoot you." He then brandished a firearm that was in his waistband.
He says Jones played right along.
Who was working at the time of the robbery, who was the one that's reported it and who was handed the note.
All went well until police say they found and arrested Stephen Jones days later, who ratted out Locke, who then sold out Isaiah's.
Right now, all suspects involved are being charged with conspiracy to commit a misdemeanor. Some have been charged with embezzlement. The suspect involved who actually walked in the store and brandished the firearm, he is a convicted felon with prior felony convictions.
Man, what a man. One thing about the black, they know how to go home early. Or not to go to work at all. What? Nah. An example of not having the fathers. Men and women that grow up with fathers close to their father, they don't do those kinds of things. What the? A return to the father is a must-be in order to have a real life. You can have heaven on earth, or you can stay in your hell on earth. It's up to you. I set before you life and death. Choose life. But if you love your death, stay dead spiritually. California is a mess because of the weakness of the men. No father's love. ABC is reporting that a recent string of burglaries targeting affluent neighborhoods in California, Southern California, is being investigated as part of a sophisticated international crime ring. Watch this from ABC.
Seen one suspect, he came running through the backyard, and I was like, who the hell is that? You know, and then two more came running out, and I ran back there, and they were going over the fence.
As we investigate the case, or any crime really, including residential burglaries, we'll look at, is it part of an ongoing trend? Are the suspects involved in other crimes outside of Anaheim, Orange County?
In this case, yes. We're told they're from the same group seen here, all the way in the Hollywood Hills. Surveillance video shows 3 people walking out of a home with clothes, bags, and other items. Eyewitness News has learned they're part of an investigation into what law enforcement calls a transnational group. In other words, an international crime ring. Authorities will not confirm where these 3 suspects are from. The Orange County complaint charges Diego Rendi Chuentecol, Miguel Fernando Marchantavilla, and Manuel Rodrigo Vendas Burgos with 2 counts of burglary, possession of burglary tools, obstructing an officer, and false representation. They've pleaded not guilty. There have been 3 arrests, but how many people does this actually go deep?
I'm not sure.
Safe to say that it's more than these 3 people, though, right?
Yes.
Sophistication is among the aggravating factors. Now, in addition to Anaheim and Hollywood Hills, we're learning agencies are also investigating burglaries in Yorba Linda, Palos Verdes, Manhattan Beach, Dana Point, Santa Clarita, and Santa Monica, all potentially tied to an international crime ring.
Maybe, but they can't say where they come from. But the name is Gertrudo Juarez Maricas and Cusures Juarez Maricas. Well, you know they come from Mexico with names like that. What the? They ain't from Watts. What the? And Contreras Espinado Racaricas. But we don't know where they come from. Hola. Sound like Mexico to me? I don't know, but it sounds like Mexico. Fox has reported that a Los Angeles Police Department officer, Los Angeles City personnel, and people directly involved in the LAPD recruiting and hiring process are going public for the first time with their concerns. Watch this.
A lot of the people that are being hired right now should not be police officers.
LAPD officers and LA City personnel.
It's a danger. It's a direct danger to the public.
We're just letting the floodgates open to people that shouldn't be on the job.
He supervised LAPD police backgrounds for 20 years. Williams retired a year ago after the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis in 2020. Followed by massive protests across the country and anti-police sentiment. Williams alleges the LAPD began making changes in its recruiting process.
We were given direction to focus more on diversity candidates, which we always have.
But he says if the top-tier candidates were not from a specific minority group,
they didn't want them, so they sat on the shelf. They started manipulating the standards and the guidelines, which that was a major issue with me.
He and other sources say the LAPD is making it too easy to be an officer.
We're now hiring people with 40, 30, and in some cases, lower than 10% physical scores. It's going to be devastating if you lower the standards any more than it is right now. And who's going to suffer from that? I think primarily the community.
A spokesperson for LA Mayor Karen Bass has this to say tonight about the situation. There is no world in which Mayor Bass would ever support the lowering of standards for those who serve in LAPD.
Yeah, right. What a mess! All the wrong people in the right places to make sure my country never returns again. Never returns again. Now, do you believe me when I say we need the fathers? The men must return to God, the Father, and become men again? And stop acting like little females fighting one another, gossiping and carrying on. Clean up your own private life and get it together. The world needs you. It really does. It ain't going to work through the women. And it ain't going to work through weak men. It ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. What would it take? What would it take for you to wake up and focus on you and stop worshiping evil, idol worshiping evil, and calling it good? Where is the love? Not mama's love, but God's love. God's love is a dispassionate love. It's not a passionate love at all. When someone says, oh, I'm so passionate, I'm just a passionate person. And what they're telling you that they're an evil person. You better run the other way. And white men, since we're on the manhood hour, y'all need to stand up. Stand up. Y'all need to stand up. If not now, when? And stand up means speak up. Say no. No matter what they call you, they're your enemy. When people attack you, they're revealing to you that they're your enemy. When husbands and wives attack one another, they're saying to each other, we are enemies. We don't love one another. We hate one another. Be glad to see your enemy and stand up to your enemy by not hating your enemy, but dealing with it in the right way. White men, you founded this country. This is your house. What the? This country was founded, created, and built and designed by white men with the help of God. And now they have you on the run in your own house. And they have you on the run, men, period, because you represent, and the devil knows it, the Son of God. And they don't want any image of God around at all. Zero image. Why do you think that when they were given when those LGBTQ Catholic men dressed like Catholic women, and they went down to the LA Dodgers Stadium there somewhere, and they were carried on the cross like that? They want to get rid of any image of God. And men, they want to wipe you out. It's not about your color. It's not about racism. It's not about sexism. It's not about being abusive. It's not about black or white. White. They want to wipe you out because you represent good and push forth the woman because she represents evil. The God above is the man's God. The God below is the woman's God. And they know it. And they're using the woman and all this other mess to keep you down, to wipe you out. It's not just about getting rid of the Bible or getting rid of a church building. It's getting rid of the foundation, which is the man. Have you seen men in commercials, how weak and beta male they're made to be? Watch this compilation.
Sweetie, I think you need a little extra fiber in your diet.
Oh, Carol, fiber makes me sad.
It's a blackberry that flips closed, so no more butt dialing. Yay!
Yay! You don't understand. I have an MBA.
Oh, you have an MBA. In that case, I'll have to show you how to do it.
Wow, he's like a deer in headlights. He doesn't really think if he stares long enough, new food will magically appear, does he? Just like magic. Voila. Where does he get that from? Oh, and there you have it. The tree from which the apple fell.
Is this ride safe?
Assembled it myself last night. Think I did an okay job.
Just okay?
What if something bad happens?
We just moved to the next town.
Just okay is not okay.
Like that time you told your wife you were at the regional sales conference.
Wait, what?
Remember, last March with Steve? Or use it to make a white wine spritzer, perfect for hanging out with 2 Chainz.
I love your rap music.
I have a helicopter.
Ooh.
We should be going. You don't like boats?
I thought State Farm didn't have all those apps.
Where'd you hear that?
The internet.
And you believed it?
Yeah. They can't put anything on the internet that isn't true.
Where'd you hear that? The internet.
Oh, look. Here comes my date. I met him on the internet. He's a French model.
Bonjour.
just a luxury car service instead of strength training with Patrick Willis.
Come on, Todd, flex them chicken wings.
Well, I travel a lot, and
Since we're often all on the move, Ashley suggested we use FedEx Office to hold packages for us. Great job. And on a protocol note, I'd like to talk to Tim Hill about his tendency to use all caps in emails.
I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes the caps lock gets stuck on my keyboard. Hey, do you want to get a drink later?
Amazing. That is pure evil. What do you think they would do if you presented the women like that? That's who come up with all the crazy ideas anyway. They're going out of their way to try to make the woman look strong and smart, and she's not, and make the man look weak and beta. In reality, he's not. But that's what they're doing because they hate God. And so they hate you, and especially white men. White men, see how they're doing you? And you won't speak up, you won't say anything. White people, remember the burger guy that wanted to shine the black man's shoes and give him a hug. White men, when will enough be enough and you start speaking up, and whatever the attacks are, let them attack, let them call your name, let them threaten to take your stuff, you're none of those things anyway. Those are just false identities. Be glad when they attack those false identities so you can see what you think about it, let them go. But you need to stand up. And they are going after the white man in that way, weakening him. And as a result of that, the whole country is becoming weak. It's not getting better. Look at services in America today, weak. Look at your little white children, weak. Look at your wife. They're becoming just like the black women, mean and nasty and controlling on an ego trip. It's a spiritual battle, pushing the woman farther and trying to make her look like she's special from hell, and put the man away, get rid of heaven. This is not a joke. This is evil. It's not a reason to freak out either. It's a reason to wake up. It's evil. It's evil. They'll rather let all the illegal aliens into the country to hurt the white man than to do what's right. Because they hate God. So they hate you. They don't love the woman. They're just using the evil in the woman to destroy good. Make her feel like she's something she's not. A mother's love is not special. It will kill you. Literally. Spiritually and literally. It's amazing. And white men, I just don't get you. I do clearly understand what's going on and why but fight for your life. Fight inwardly for your life and speak up outwardly for your life. Don't give up on your own life. What the? Christ came that you may have life. And you're scared to have life. And you make up excuses for not having life. I set before you life and death. Choose life. You can choose life right here, right now. It doesn't take but a second. It's sad what's happening. Most men today, in real life, are weak beta male. Beta males. Some of the stories I hear, I just don't know what. And I counsel with men and women around the world. Some of the things I hear from the men, I just don't get, even though I do understand it. This is from the Revolver. Remember we showed you the white guy. What was the name of that hamburger place? Where the white man said he bought some shoe shine?
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. The man that manager or owner of Chick-fil-A bought some shoe shine brushes or something so they could brush the black man's shoe. Worship the black man. They must have heard about Jesus cleaning some woman cleaning Jesus, just some woman cleaning Jesus' feet or something.
Yeah, but I think also Jesus did something like that too.
They tell you the joke too far though. He didn't mean that.
Come on, man.
That's like Hake telling us he had a watch too after seeing my watch. My great white hope watch. Hake like, I got a watch too. Yes, Hake, your watch is nice. We like your watch. Like we didn't know he already had a watch. But white men and black men too, you see what has happened to the black men. Why are you letting this happen to you too? This is from the Revolver. A black man threatened a white man and his family. A black man threatened a white man and his family, brandishing a knife. The white man dialed 911. And I hope that Israel from Texas is watching this, because he called up this morning that mess, trying to reverse everything. But when the police arrived and arrested the black guy, the white man broke down and sobbed. And my question is, why did the white man sob to the police? Watch this from Twitter.
He was arrested and charged with simple assault and terroristic threats. Following his arrest, he was transported to the DeKalb County Jail.
Let's go to the squad car, please. Okay, that way.
Why? I'm being arrested?
Yes.
For what?
I will need for you to fill out a statement for him.
I don't want him arrested. I just want him to leave us alone.
I know, but he had a weapon on him, and it was terrorist threats.
Brandishing is not a crime with a knife. Brandishing is only a crime for a gun.
Terroristic threats, though, sorry.
Because he said die to me and had his knife out?
What? All that was done.
What? What though?
I just wanted to leave us alone.
I understand, but we still have a job to do.
Now he's gonna think I'm doing this because I'm white and he's black. Or he's homeless and I'm not. I don't want that.
But did he do what he did?
Yeah, but I don't want him thinking I did it because he's in whatever situation he's in. I just want him to leave us alone.
I doubt that.
Okay, man.
I'll be right back, okay?
I was like, okay, I'm going to let this man go. Let him threaten you some more. What the? I would have that man arrested so fast, make his head swim. And the white man is boo-hooing. I don't want him to think I'm a racist. I'm the white man. I just don't want him to hurt us with a knife and threats. And look like his wife or somebody walking up on him. His wife, if that's his wife, the white man's wife, she need to go in that house, pack her bag, and say bye. It's over. Can you get any weaker? Oh, yeah, you want to find some shoe brushes and shine their shoes. Remember during the Black Lives Matter mass riots and stuff? There were white people getting down and Christian and cleaning the feet of black people. In the United States of America. If you can't see that black people hate white people, you're blind. I gotta take a break. I gotta get a drink after this. What a mess! I'll be back in a moment. 888-7753-773. The treasure chest is now open on D-Line. And back in a moment. I noticed after a while that when these guys overcome their anger, they have amazing ideas about starting a business, but because they've been told that if you don't get a loan from the bank, or if you don't have a 5-year plan, or if you don't do this, and it's just simply not true, it's the first step with faith, then all things are possible. So, but the most important thing is to return to the Father. That yearning that you have, that emptiness, that void, is not for more stuff. It's not for more friends. It is a return to the Father, because there's no way you can return to God and be angry at your earthly father. So thank you all so much, right? People around the world donated to Bond at rebuildingtheman.com, or they call 800-411-2663, and we're still committed to pointing the right way for men and women to return to the Father. Have you visited and shopped at BigClubUSA.com yet? You are missing it. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Rush, rush, rush to BigClubUSA.com. Here's an example of what you gotta get. Watch this. People tell me I have a lot of alpha energy. Jesse, what gives you so much alpha energy, they say? Is it energy drinks? No. Is it cigars? No. It's Alpha Jerky. Alpha Jerky from Big Club USA. Alpha male, and you can have Alpha Jerky energy too. Amazing. BigClubUSA.com, and use the promo code JLP33 for 15% off of your purchase. BigClubUSA.com, promo code JLP33. The Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour. The HakeReport.com from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then the Anchor Baby Show at 12 noon Pacific time. The American Anchor Baby. Amazing. Don't forget to buymeacoffee.com/JLP. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP. I want to just quickly show you this and then get to your phones and super chats. You know, white people and white men, you're hated. If you don't see it by now, and it ain't your fault. That man just crying. Allegedly, the guy went after him with a knife and threatened him. He called the cops. Now he boo-hooing because the guy is being arrested. And I don't know about his situation. He's going to see me as a racist. A white man. That white woman, I don't know what she must be thinking. What the? You want to go live with him? If you can't see that the blacks hate white people, you are blind. Watch this from the Revolver. Whites are demonized by the media, and white workers are passed over for jobs simply because of the color of their skin. Black privilege, quote unquote, has taken over, and the radicalized left want to eliminate the white race altogether. Watch this compilation.
White human beings thought there's a world here and we own it. Prior to them, Black and brown people have been sailing across oceans, interacting with each other for centuries without total subjugation, domination, and colonialism, because they are so corrupt. their thinking is so morally and spiritually bankrupt about power that they can't they fear viscerally, existentially letting go of power. The thing I want to say to you is we got to take these motherfuckers out. But we can't say that, right? But whiteness is largely an inconvenient interruption.
What are white people superior at?
What exactly are white people superior at?
They're real good at violence.
Genocide. It's like stealing people's lives just because they feel like it.
If you are white and you know this is happening and you say nothing, then you're a killer too.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Insecurity, pretending,
fear, being fearful of nothing, being ignorant,
Blame.
letting their egos control their every move.
O.C. Frangpong, who calls himself the funky academic online, recently commented on Facebook, some white people may have to die for black communities to be made whole.
I'm confused on why that's so controversial.
1 minute you're headed to a nice dinner with the family, and the next, this happens. At one point in the rant, the strange man threatens to kill every white person in the restaurant.
5 police officers are killed in the line of duty in Dallas.
Police cornered the suspect, identified as Micah Johnson, and negotiated with him for hours.
The suspect stated he wanted to kill white people, especially white officers.
They have been booked with the first-degree murder of 66-year-old handyman Lawrence Herr.
And they did indicate that they were specifically not only looking to kill somebody, but they wanted to be a white person.
That, in my estimation, is the only conclusion I have come to. We have to exterminate white people off of the face of the planet to solve this problem.
Amazing. Now do you believe it? And if they were able to exterminate white people off this planet, all they're going to do is do what they're already doing, turn it on each other. It ain't going to solve their problem. It's not going to solve their problem because it's evil. And they'll just turn on one another. What does your mother do when you go and apologize to her for resenting her? She turned on you. She built an army against you. That's evil. Why don't you deal with evil? And remember, Biden said that the greatest terrorist threat is white supremacy. That came from Joe Biden. Amazing. And guess what? It all turns out, speaking of slavery, according to Fox News, President Trump is the only current or former living U.S. president who is not descendant from slaveholders. Who is not descendant from slaveholder. Biden, Carter, George W. Bush, Clinton, and Obama all have ancestors who enslaved black people, with Obama's link coming from his white mama side. They all descended from slavery, slaveholders, except for the great white hope, Donald Trump. And one last thing. Can you see the difference in the headlines here? These headlines show the difference in media coverage for Daniel Penny and Jordan Williams. Watch this. Hassan going to read them all for you.
Jordan Neely, Marine vet in subway chokehold death, freed on $100,000 bond, ordered not to leave New York State. New York City crime, Brooklyn subway stabber Jordan Williams freed on no bail at emotional court hearing filled with family. Amazing.
Amazing. Now, emotional court hearing. Daniel Penny didn't get an emotional court hearing? The black guy been accused of doing exactly what Jordan Williams did, but he's fine. Jordan Williams out on no bail. Now do you believe me, white folks? When will you speak up? If not now, just imagine what would be going on in our country if the roles were reversed. If the roles were reversed, what would be happening in America if white people were doing this to the blacks? What happened to the blacks? What do you think would be happening in America if the roles were reversed? Slavery, so-called Jim Crow, so-called the Klan, KKK, or systemic racism, all that. White supremacy doesn't compare to what's happening to the whites today in their own country. At all, period. There's no comparison to the evil that's been brought upon white people in their own country. May God have mercy upon America. Let me go quickly to Michael out of South Carolina. Michael, welcome to the show. You are on the air.
Hello, good morning, Jesse. How are you?
All is well, sir.
I wanted to ask your personal thoughts on the previous Titan submarine sinking. I wanted to ask and see what you thought about it.
In all honesty, Mike, I thought nothing about it at all. I heard about it. It went down. I think they found it now. It was broken up. That's about all I thought about it.
I was wondering if you thought it was pretty dumb, because I got warnings not to do it, and they still went to do it. So.
No, I didn't. Again, I have no thoughts about it at all. And and now that you brought it to my attention, that's what happens when you take risk in life. And the one thing I know about white people, they will take a risk, and that's what made America so great.
Speaking of that, about white people, I'm white, and
he white.
Lately,
You sound. How come you sound black?
I sound black.
A little bit like a black Southerner, white black Southerner.
Well, I'm from the South, so
okay,
maybe.
Nice.
But no, we've just been saying he black all the time.
He black.
But but thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome, buddy.
You have a good day.
You too. Amazing. I have no opinion about that except that they took a risk. Apparently it broke apart. But that's what white people do. That's why America became the greatest country on this side of heaven. And everybody trying to come here now, we're trying to take over and destroy it. What the? Sheldon is first-time caller out of Florida. Sheldon, thank you for calling. You're on the air.
Thank you, Jesse, for having me.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to give you some compliments on your show. I wanted to thank you for what you're doing. I want you to keep doing what you're doing, because black people need to be held accountable for the actions that they make.
Yeah. You're absolutely right, man. And if you love them, you will tell them the truth. Because I've noticed that over the years, some of the blacks that are hearing the truth, they're starting to change. They're taking responsibility for their own life. They just didn't realize what was going on.
And also, not only is the single homes that's detrimental, it's also these Southern Baptist pastors. We need more reverends like you who's going to tell it like it is, Reverend, and don't try to sugarcoat it to make it fit whatever you're doing, because it's either good or evil.
Yeah. That's the one thing for clear. I mean, it's so clear to me, Sheldon, I don't know what to do with it, man. It's not physical, it's spiritual.
Yes, I mean, every day I have issues with these young guys. Oh, man. I'm from the South, Reverend. Could you please make an effort to come this way as soon as possible and just share some of your teachings and let people know not to be so angry all the time and blaming people for your misfortunes?
I definitely will, but in the meantime, you keep telling them that too. We got
Yes, sir, I will.
Yeah, we got to spread the truth one person at a time. So you put it out there as well, and whatever I can do to help, man, I definitely will.
Yes, sir. Also, I wanted to thank you for supporting Trump, because I'm also a Trump supporter, so I get into it with him about that as well.
The Great White Hope.
Yes, the Great White Hope. You said a mouthful. I said it before he even became president, sir.
Yes. Right on. Nice. Well, I appreciate it, Sheldon. Thank you for your call, man. And call me again and keep putting the truth out there. And if they
Yes, sir. And anytime you have a panel with a discussion, I would like to be invited.
Right on. Right on. I want you to hold on, and I'm going to let my producer write down your contact information so that when that does come, we can use you, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me, like I said.
You're welcome, man. Hold on, buddy. Hold on. Amazing. Put the truth out there in your world, just like they're putting evil out there. Put the light out there, too. Right where you are is where it should begin. Really. And the light will spread just as the darkness have done. Eddie is a first-time caller out of Arkansas, better known as Arkansas. Eddie, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, how you doing?
All this well, sir. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. Thanks for asking.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to answer your biblical question, and it's kind of like a three-part deal. I'm committed.
What are you committed to?
Listening more, talking less, and patient.
Deep.
And, yeah, well, I'm actually living it, and I feel like I'm hearing you today for the first time, too, by the way.
Oh,
and
welcome.
You're talking about a mother's love can kill you.
Yes.
Well, I've already removed one woman from my life because she couldn't understand me working on myself and with God. And that was my ex-wife. But the other one is my mom. And I get accused a lot of being selfish or inconsiderate, or I guess inconsiderate would be the best one, or like no emotions whatsoever, because I tell a lot of times, that's your problem. There ain't nothing I can fix for you.
Right.
You have to do that, And she likes to play a lot of guilt on me because I had an abuse problem a few years back, or alcohol abuse problem. And I had a self-realization when I literally was walking across town just to get a beer at the time. And I told myself if I could apply this much just to walk across town and get a beer, I could apply it to something else. And that's when I found God.
Nice.
And I don't know, just everything's going on today with what you're talking about, the mother's love. I don't know how to explain to her that I care about what's going on, but I have to work on me.
Is she living with you, or do you live with her?
Well, we have a big property, and she has a house on one corner of it and a 200-foot driveway, and then my house.
So here's what I recommend. Have you forgiven her for imposing her will on you when you were growing up?
Yes, sir, I have, and I understand that she doesn't get where my head's at and where I am in my life.
She gets it, man. She's lying to you. She just doesn't want to lose control over you. She wants to control you. She wants to make you her husband. She does get it. She's lying to you.
And I see that, too, because it's calling me all the time to do the honey-do list. I got this, come on my yard, I move a limb. And uses my empathy and the fact that I have a big heart and care is a lot of, it's something I struggle with too, and in the sense that I can't fix everybody else's problem.
And you're not supposed to. That only God can do that.
Exactly.
So you went to her, forgave her?
Absolutely. I'm not the best at explaining to her or trying to make her understand, and I guess that's where I'm falling short.
No, you're not falling short. You can't make another person understand, and you're not supposed to explain it to them when they don't want to understand it. You're not falling short in that, man. You're right on track.
Well, what is it, kind of like weaponizing compassion? Because I do still care for and love her, but I do understand that sense, too.
If you loved her, you'll continue to correct her and not let her use you in the way she's doing by making you feel guilty. You should give her the finger. She's a Cherokee.
Awesome. Yeah. First time listener, and just so happen this is the biggest thing I'm dealing with right now in my life and on my journey.
Are you able to move her off the land?
Oh, absolutely not. I unfortunately no. And my wife was doing the same thing she was doing, being guilty because I was giving my time to God and taking care of me instead of her like she thought I should.
Yeah.
So I made her kick rocks.
Well, your mother just like your wife. It's the same spirit.
That's what I was thinking. I wanted to ask you for your opinion.
Where's your father?
My dad, he works all the time and disabled, and he don't say a whole lot, and he just more or less just there.
Where are your brothers and sisters?
All my brothers are gone off in the military and doing their own thing with their families, and just ended up moving away, and I grandfathered into the land and stuff. Like everything out there becomes mine later in life.
Well, here's what I recommend. I highly recommend, but it's up to you, right? Start saying no to her when she be calling you to come over and do this and come over. Just say no and let her have a fit. And you just watch the devil come out of her trying to control you. The devil's going to have a fit inside of her because it can't control you anymore. You got to start saying no and let her bitch about it as much as she wants, but don't give in. Don't argue with her. Don't try to prove anything to her. Just say no.
I'll do it, Jesse. I appreciate it. And I wanted to touch on the patience thing, too. While I'm working on myself, I constantly tell myself or ask myself, is what I'm worried about right now, can I fix it or do anything about it right now? And try not to live in it and stay stressed.
Here's what have you heard me talk about the silent prayer video?
No, sir. This is my first time listening to you.
I want you to go to rebuildingaman.com/church. Rebuildingaman.com/church and start doing the silent prayer. And God will bring you out of the thoughts, out of the emotion. All thoughts are all lies all the time. Those that seem good and those that seem bad. He'll bring you out of those thoughts, and he'll take over, and the rest will be easy. You don't have to think about it. You'll just be able to live it without having to think about it at all.
Yes, sir. I thank you for your time, Jesse. I really do.
So do the silent prayer and start saying no to your mother. She's playing a game on you. She does understand that you want to be free, but she loves controlling you the way she's done with everybody else. And when she can't control you, it feels like she's dying because she can't control you. She's going to hate you for that. And it's not her, but it's the hell that's in her.
I agree.
So,
all right, I appreciate it.
All right, just say no to her, man, and let her bitch about it and don't give in.
Yes, sir.
All right, let me know how it goes.
I'll sure do it.
All right, buddy.
All right,
bye. Amazing super chat. Amazing.
Super chats.
The Hake report coming up at the top of this hour, by the way. Real fast, some super chats. We got to get in here.
On D Live from God Shaves with a Diamond, I play JLP in public out loud for the attention.
That's a good one for you to read.
I do the same thing.
You better put on your breastplate of armor. Thank you.
God Shaves with another diamond on D Live. This episode is great. How to be more alpha every day? He asks.
By not hating and overcoming. Just endure whatever thoughts and pain come, let them pass, and it will happen naturally. Amazing.
Soul Conscious says, Jesse, in answer to the biblical question,
what are you committed to?
I am not committed to nothing, just living in the present.
What the? Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you guys to the top contributors, Evgeny Crosby, God Shaves, Games for Rec, and the rest. Appreciate you. And that's all for now.
Amazing. Thank you all.
Oh no, I think there was a
Thank you.
On Rumble, a Rumble rant.
You got to know how to rumble.
Morning, gentlemen, from Being Enlightened Till I Rise. Jesse showing us a crying man in Manhood Hour. What the? Well, that's an alpha for you. LOL. Lots of laughs.
That's right.
If that don't wake you up, I don't know what will.
I don't know what will. What will it take?
Thanks again.
Thank you all. I appreciate it. Grace from Canada. Dean, a first-time caller out of South Carolina, and the rest of the caller, I am out of time. Tomorrow is Bible Thumper, Thursday already. The Hake report is coming up now until 11, from 9 to 11 Pacific time. And then the Anchor Baby show at 12 noon. The American Anchor Baby, Pacific time, 12 noon. Become your own man, become your own woman. Do the silent prayer and let go. Thank you all for super chats and everything. I'm out of here.
I know we can have faith in the unseen while we stand up and get back to the way we were designed to be.
So you get something went wrong, but
check. I had to get on the track one time. Joel Friday here. Check. Look, stand up. We got fighting to do. We gotta show 'em who boss. He put a Viking in you. He put that lightning in you, igniting the truth. But you beg and blame and lie and hate and never wanna stand for the truth. So what you planning to do? You understand in the lose. You better go talk to your mama, better stop all the drama, better drop all the trauma. Boy, you better stand up and up. Put your hand up and hut. Cause if we don't, then we lose, and then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa.
you must know that so you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause so you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way.
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. Other than sex, I wonder, why would a man even need a woman today? Women don't know how to cook. They don't know how to clean. They're in competition with men. They don't want to be wives and mothers. Some want to get married, but they don't want to live in that proper position of life, because the only purpose of marriage is to have a family, and that's been known forever. And so if you don't want to have children, there is no need to get married. And so I was wondering, why would a man even get married today? I never thought I'd see the day when women would come out of her natural role and be like a man. Even though she hate that role, when she's with a man that's weak, she hate him. But if he try to be strong, she'll stop it. I never imagined that. You're seeing good destroyed and abnormal is presented as normal.
Thank you, Jesse Lee Peterson.